watching his fingers move across that, I know he's that fast in bed too.
But it still takes a long time.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for coming to the first... Guess what I was supposed to be. Thank you very much for coming to the Furry Variety Show. Hopefully we have some great acts for you. And we're going to start off with a man who needs absolutely no introduction.
Where the hell was the introduction?
You didn't need one.
Damn right. All right, I am here to conduct a furry survey, and for this to happen, it also requires it to be a double-blind study, which means everybody needs to close their eyes, including myself. Now, displaying any type, you can clap, you can cheer, or however you wish to voice your approval or displeasure of the following furry-related phrases. Display your affection towards the word scritch. Noted. The word bite. Uncle Kage. Fantastic. Duly noted. My Little Pony.
Found these ponies?
Very well.
They tried
concludes the furry survey. Thank you, everyone. You may open your eyes. All right, now that those introductions, it's a mad scientist thing. We had to make sure that all the survey and all these lovely things are taken care of. So therefore, I'm a mathematician, and basically I have terrible jokes. Such terrible jokes as, what is purple and commutes? An abillion grape. Right.
What?
Exactly. Well, let's try one that I set up a little bit for. A topologist is somebody that deals with, I guess, such the depth of things. Something of theirs you may see as a contour map, such as if you want to climb a mountain, you may have a map that has the various levels of the heights. There's a little bit of a problem with topology. Topologists can't tell the difference between a cup of coffee and a donut. Exactly. How we doing over there, Alkali?
I hate you.
I also last night, you know how like there's the Gordie, we're in Michigan, of course, so there's the Gordie Howe hat trick, which is getting a fight, a goal, and an assist, I believe, in a hockey game. Well, yesterday, or this morning rather, I committed the Alkali trifecta.
Oh, hell.
Which consists of admitting something you did that you regret to your friends, and doing something that night that you regret with your friends, and then committing alcohol abuse. I thought I was in the clear until I had to move out of the room this morning. I packed up everything and it was perfect, and I had one thermos left sitting on all of my luggage. I thought it was empty. But it wasn't. Twist the cap off, bam! Right on the sidewalk goes the final third of my Battlefield Earth Cup, which is a fantastic drink I created that most mortal men cannot drink.
That's alcohol abuse.
I know! And that's how I committed the trifecta, and I was massively disappointed. And, well, at least Alkali and I now have something in common besides fancy hats.
And bad jokes.
That too.
Wow.
So another thing is I have these crazy, I'm sure I'm the only person in the world that has this. There's those big questions in the world out there, and sometimes at 3 o'clock in the morning you wake up and come up with these brilliant answers to things. And I'm dumb enough to have what's known as an analog recording device, because I'm super cheap and also stupid enough to not have a voice recorder. So I have all these randomly etched out things on a sheet of paper next to my bed. These are some of the answers to the world's big questions. If you're said to have nerves of steel, wouldn't you be tense? we normally christen a ship and call it a sheet. It's usually how we refer to like machinery and stuff like that. Well, a female pinball machine would really suck because it has no balls. That's a good question, and you'll have to ask me sometime that I actually have an answer to that. I only have answers to so many questions. I always wondered, back when I was in college and I had, we had always engineers in engineering campus, but only the computer scientists would go to a place called Panda Express, which is like a quickie Chinese place. I figured out why they're the only ones that frequent it. Because that computer scientists, programmers have a lot in common with pandas. They both climb up and down trees. Oh my God. I think I have one more going. Let me go to my random sketch pad. Because I'm dumb and don't sleep. I'm not very good at music. Oh yes! What note was that? Too late! You're wrong. Failed.
It was an F, and I'm not wrong.
No, so he still fails. Fantastic. All right. Miller Lite, you know, they had that old that campaign slogan, or not campaign slogan, that media ad slogan, Real Men of Genius. Well, what you didn't know was that it was originally called the Riemannians of Genius. And they originally filled the bottle with inner products. You are such a nerd.
I hate you so much.
I'm sorry you know calculus. One more? Okay, I have one more. Yeah, I thought of this one digital future where somehow electronic components can do things that we can. And I always thought of what would happen if a male USB connector marries a female USB connector. What would the female USB connector say at the altar? I love you to bits.
Or dumb as a rock to get all those. I got all of them and I'm not intelligent, so thanks a lot for that. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce to you to the stage someone whose dancing capabilities can't be matched because none of us would be crazy enough to dance in a suit like this. Baby Pie! It's not easy.
Stevens, if I hear that trombone one more
Oh
time.
my God. And anyone who's ever danced in a suit before knows she was truly sweating to the oldies.
My tail extra to dance.
She should have tailed. All right, so.
I got one thing to say. Yay.
Ladies and gentlemen, for our next act, somebody who has been proving himself over and over at open mic and who I had to yell at so that he would show up on this goddamn stage. Ladies and gentlemen, Xander the Blue!
Can everyone hear me okay?
Yes.
Is everyone having a great FurCon?
Yes.
I love FurCons because FurCons are one of the only places where people won't think you're high if you're like, hey, did you see that dragon? It's not even Chinese New Year. Sometimes FurCons share space with different events going on. Just once I want a FurCon to share space with rehab. That way, the heroin addicts can actually chase me. Dragon. Anyway, oh man, what else I got? Yes. Oh yes, I have many albino fur friends. Their personas are albino with pure white fur and everything. But I just call them animal crackers. You guys like my fursuit?
Yes.
Having a fursuit is a lot like having fake tits. Because, you know, they're expensive and really uncomfortable, but look at me! I want to open a restaurant that, like, the whole waiting staff is in fursuit. It was just like, come on guys, we're gonna go watch the game with suitors. I like the My boyfriend is also has a fursuit, you might not have seen it, and he is a 6'8" ferret. I want to let him loose in fursuit in Bigfoot country. Mom, I found Bigfoot. He's adorable. Before I let you go, I want to let you know how Furby ruined Christmas. You might have heard this story a little bit on my podcast, The Dragon Show, that I co-host with Outfly. When I was a teenager, my parents got me a Furby. You know, the toy that looks like Gizmo fucked a Tribble. I just found that annoying too. There are no buttons, no on and off. It's just voice activated. Or no, motion, and then it just goes, "Ee!" and then won't shut up until you stick it into solitary confinement. That said, it didn't last long with my patience, and I stuck it in the closet where it remained, just waiting to go off in the closet, which sounds a lot like me in high school. Fast forward to Christmas this year. Everything's slowing down. It's Christmas Eve night. My parents are asleep. I am feeling nostalgic. So hey, let's go look at some, earbooks in the closet. Go toward the closet. It stopped. I'm looking for an off switch. There is no such off switch. Just screws. I don't know. Panic mode initiated. I take it. I stick it in a pillowcase with the pillow because I know that downstairs there are some screwdrivers. What I don't know is my mom is wrapping presents in the living room. So she sees her naked son with something screaming in a pillow. Running down to the basement. La 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 la. I get to said basement. I find some screwdrivers. They're stripping. They're not coming out. Panic mode reinitiated. I'm trying the Kali Ma. I'm trying the 5-point palm exploding hard technique. I have a screwdriver. I start stabbing the Yes. Not only was it not enough to see her naked son running downstairs, she sees her naked son in the basement stabbing a Furby with a screwdriver. Needless to say, we actually finally got the batteries out, but then after that we could all agree, fuck Furbies. Yeah.
Everyone having fun so far?
Yeah.
Well, it's better than most of these things, so I think this is a rousing success. Alright, next to the stage, I would like to introduce somebody who, I don't actually know if I've worked with them before. Have I? You ever been on stage with me before?
Yes, I was thinking.
I meant for this, for a Furry variety show.
Yeah,
Okay, great. So guys, he actually knows what he's doing.
you obviously don't. You got the mic backwards.
No, I like how this looks. It looks retarded. Whoa.
Okay.
You're too fast.
I can slow down.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce to the stage Fam with his acoustic set in the UK.
Make sure to get it right the first time.
I never get it right the first time, that's why I was going to second date.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for showing up. My name's Thibby. I've been doing variety shows for quite a few years now. I'm normally known for writing my own comedy, music. I've been on a podcast called Act for On Air for quite a few years. As much as I absolutely love comedy, unfortunately the beginning of this year was not quite as comedic as expected. We did lose a furry in February. Those of you may have known him. His name was Lemonade Coyote. He passed away in a horrific car accident driving his ambulance on the job. As such, I wanted to actually play a song in tribute to his passing. One of my favorite bands, Green Day, wrote a song that pretty much explains everything that I felt about the situation as someone who was one of his fellow local furs. So I hope you guys enjoy it as much as I do.
Fuck me. Thanks, everybody! Guys, give me a little round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, the next man also needs no introduction because he got somebody to play him. Maestro.
I've got 3 stories to tell you. All of them are true, and all of them are stupid. Hence my title, Miko's Stories of Stupidity. Okay. Now, my first story is I'm driving with my friend Silverpop. Most of you know him as the creator of the Hookahfurs on Facebook. So we're driving over to Taco Bell, as he calls it, Taco Hell. So, my mother has always told me, be careful what you say because you might offend somebody. Well, along the way over to Taco Bell, we passed by a Catholic school/church. And I got to thinking, you know what? I've heard so much in my church about how the Catholics are all religious and rituals and stuff like that and how they're missing out on everything else. So you know what? I'm just going to say something. So I said, you know what I want to do? I want to go to a Catholic guy and says, your religion is flawed! You don't need to see a priest. You can ask God for forgiveness for yourself. He turns to me and says, you do realize I'm Catholic, right? I just about wrecked the car. So now, a few months go by, and I'm sitting at his house, and he goes over to me and says, hey, remember how a couple of months ago you said that my religion is flawed? Yeah, what about it? Your religion is flawed. You do need to see a priest. God does not accept collect calls. Now, for the last year, I've been trying to come up with a reply. I have one. I have a calling card. My second story happened to me at my job. As most of you know from last year, I work in the deli department over at Myers, over that way. I was put in charge of covering one of my coworkers' breaks. I worked the deep fryers. So I'm working my job, and all of a sudden the fryer starts going off saying, hey, doofus, filter me. So I do the procedure, except I forget to do one thing. After filling the vat, I forget to shut the drain valve and flip the thing on. So as I'm serving another customer, the oil is slowly draining out, the coils are becoming exposed, and as you all know, oil is flammable. Pretty soon, as I'm serving a customer, she's like, oh, by the way, your fryer's on fire. Oh, gee, thanks. So I go over, split the lid, shut it off. I call security and say, yeah, I just had a fryer fire. They come over, they check it out. They said, okay, well, there's nothing broken. Turn it back on. So I turn it back on. My coworker comes back from his break, and I tell him what happened. He goes ballistic. You fucking idiot! I leave you for 15 minutes and you set the fryer on fire. Just go over there. Just go over to the code side. Don't ever come back over here. About an hour goes by, and all of a sudden I hear, fuck! I turn over. This guy has managed to set both fryers on fire. They're up to the ceiling. There's smoke and flame and bad stuff. Then he does the one thing you're not supposed to do. He goes over, grabs the empty bucket that we use at the end of the night to drain rotisserie grease. He fills it with water from the mop sink. He runs over and boom! I've heard stories of the lake of fire being mentioned in the Bible. Never would I have guessed in my wildest dreams it would come to my work. I was just about to expect the devil to come out himself. And if that would have happened, I would have left. Now, my third story is one of the dumbest. There is a park near my house. I drive my little RC truck. If some of you have went to the Furry circle last year, I'm the guy who delivered pop to the circle in that vehicle. So I drive my truck out there as a form to get me some exercise, because otherwise I'll be sitting on my ass. And so I'm driving around this little park on the bike path, and I see off in the distance there's a blonde lady, looks like Britney Spears, walking her dog. She's listening to her iPhone, and I swear to you, it says, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. So she's walking her dog off of the leash, and the dog is no higher than this. My truck weighs 15 pounds. This dog had to weigh about 3. Now, there are several different definitions of what is not a dog. Anything that bounces when it barks is not a dog. Anything that I can drop kick over my back fence is not a dog. Anything that's afraid of a flying leaf is not a dog. It's a freaking Beanie Baby. So I'm driving my truck. I'm heading back home, and this dog is coming the other way. I'm on one side, he's on the other. And I drive with my lights on for safety. So I'm driving, and the dog all of a sudden sees my truck and goes, not loud like that, just that annoying bark that we all want to squeeze and kill. So it sees me coming, and then again it's off a leash, and it charges at my truck. I'm like, okay, this is not good. So we start closing. We start closing fast. It's not moving away. I sound the horn. It's still not moving away. I'm like, okay, better hit the brakes. Too late. Hit the dog. Dog goes tumbling over into the grass. I pull over and put my hazards on. And I'm like, oh my God, I just killed a dog. No, it's still moving. Barely. So the woman runs over like, oh my God, you hit my dog. Man, I'm so sorry. I need to see your license and registration. I'm so sorry. What? I need to see your license and proof of insurance and registration. Okay, you do realize this is a toy, right? No, so I said, okay, fine, whatever. Pull out my license. She writes down my information on her little iPhone. And she says, okay, I need your license plate. You do realize the license plate aren't real, right? I need your trailer number. My truck has both of these. There's a number on the trailer and there's a license plate. However, I told her when she asked for my license plate, I said, you realize that the also registration sticker is from 1995, right? She didn't buy it. So she writes down my information, and she says, okay, I asked her, are we done here? Good day, ma'am. A couple of days go by. I get a call from the Livonia Police Department. They say, okay, is this Darren McCullough? I'm like, yeah? Who's this? Oh, this is Officer Shelton from the Livonia Police Department. We need to speak to you on regards of a truck versus animal accident. Apparently no police were called. A woman has filed a complaint against you. We need your side of the story. So I'm like, okay, here we go. So he says, okay, let's start out. What kind of car were you driving? I was driving a Tamiya King Hog. What the fuck is that? Google it. So he does. You've got to be fucking kidding me. She's writing report over that? Yep. Excuse me while I laugh. He laughs for about 20 minutes. And says, I am so sorry for bothering you. Have a good day. Thank you all for listening to me. You've been a great audience.
Much.
Americans, I'm Paul Harvey, and I've been reincarnated as a fox. Stand by for news. But first, if you're running a furry con, and not just this furry con, but any furry con, with hundreds of furries and furry-looking characters milling about at all hours of the day and night, then you know how important a good cup of coffee can be.
Yeah.
And that's why I recommend the Bun-O-Matic. Simply program the Bun-O-Matic, and this little fellow right here will brew the perfect cup of coffee the first time and every time. And it's a true value. Our for what it's worth department notes that Punxsutawney Phil, long regarded for his legendary meteorological prognostications, was far off the mark once again, and will be retired in favor of a sock puppet. And that brings us to the musical question. How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? Well, I'm certainly glad someone asked that of this trusted commentator, for I, Paul Harvey, know a great deal about the woodchuck. These little rascals are responsible for millions of dollars in damage to livestock, agriculture, and real estate every year. Why, I personally have whipped my weight in groundhogs several times over. For you see, a groundhog can grow upwards of 35 pounds, almost as much as a full-grown fox. And if you have to sneak up on one of these fellas, we recommend working the downwind side of the field and be sure to wear Wells Lamont gloves. Bird about quality. But getting back to the question, how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? Well, scientists have spent numerous hours pondering this question, and after much analysis, they have discovered that on a good day, with the wind at his back, and compensating for the differences between damp earth and wood pulp, about 700 pounds. Paul Harvey. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce to the stage for your listening pleasure. Drunk. Drunk last night, and I don't know what's happening now. Ladies and gentlemen, for your listening pleasure.
We have the technology.
He sounds good.
My eyes can see nothing.
And 5 reset. Ladies and gentlemen, tracks.
Got your chin held high and you feel just fine, 'cause you do what you're told. But inside your heart it is black and it's hollow and it's cold. Just how deep do you believe? Will you bite the hand that feeds? Will you chew until it bleeds? Can you get up off your knees? Are you brave enough to see? Do you wanna change it? What if this whole crusade's a charade? And behind it all there's a price to be paid for the blood which we died, justified in the name of the holy and the divine. Just how deep do you believe? Will you bite the hand that feeds? Will you chew until it bleeds? Can you get up off your knees? Are you brave enough to see? Do you wanna change it? So naive, I keep holding on to what I want to believe I could see, but it goes on and on and on and on and on. Will you bite the hand that feeds you? Will you stay down on your knees? Will you bite the hand that feeds you? Will you stay down on your knees? Will you bite the hand that feeds you? Will you stay down on your knees? Will you bite the hand that feeds you? Will you stay down on your knees? Will you bite the hand that feeds you? Will you stay down on your knees? Will you bite the hand that feeds you? Will you stay down on your knees? Will you bite the hand that feeds you? Will you stay down on your knees? Will you bite the hand that feeds you? Will you stay down on your knees?
Aren't you gonna take the rest off?
I don't know if I wanted the song to be shorter for keeping more clothes on and not wearing me, or longer so we got a striptease. But it was guys, that was Tranks. Very well done, my friend. Next to the stage is the man behind the computer. He's been helping me run part of this show. That's a computer. I know it's small and your own. Oh, fuck.
There's nobody here!
Try it at the table.
Ladies and gentlemen, F5!
Alright, so I didn't get a lot of rehearsal time, so I'm gonna cheat, just so you know. Hello!
Hello!
If you are watching this at home, do not adjust your television screen. I am fat. It is good to be here at FCN 2013, but then again, at my weight, it's good to be anywhere. Just kidding. I'm not fat. I'm just Energy Star compliant. For those of you who do not know me, I am F5. I've I've been to FCN every year so far. Woo! I love cons. It's one of the few times I get to entertain during the year. I couldn't do stand-up professionally. I'm more of a sit-down comic, more of a bring me a cheeseburger comic. But yes, I love furry cons. So we have any new people? New people furry cons here in the audience? You can always tell the new people, and I love new people that are new to the fandom the first time that they meet some of the bigger names in the fandom. Like, oh my god, it's Uncle Kage! Oh my god, it's Uncle Kage! But once you've come around for a few years, now it's more like, oh no, it's Uncle Kage. Some creepers need to use alcohol to get their prey. We keep him drunk so he doesn't become a creeper. They say as you get older, some people stop choosing to come to cons. Not me. I'm going to keep coming to cons till I'm an old man. I'm going to be one of those old people feel kind of sorry for. I'll be like, when I was your age, we actually had to commission our suits. We couldn't get them 3D printed like you kids today. Get off my tail! There's a lot to do here at FCN. Anybody go to the dance? I'm not allowed on the dance floor ever since Novi Ambulance had to show up because somebody thought I was having a seizure out on the dance floor. However, they were very nice people and I really appreciate them and I wanted to apologize to them tonight. Anybody drunk? Man, that's one thing to do here at the Cons, drink. Me, personally, I'm not much of a drinker. I'm not much of a connoisseur. Someone handed me a drink and said, here, drink this. I'm like, what is it? They said, it's rum and coke. I'm like, rum and coke? Wow, those Romans sure knew how to party. I'll tell you later. But drinking can make you think of some crazy stuff. Like, for example, am I the only one who think that trash bags should be made by Trojan? I mean, if only other companies cared about their products not ripping as much as Trojan does. I was taking the trash out before traveling to come to the con, and my hefty ripped, trash got all over the floor. Luckily, I used a competitor's condom, so I had an 8-year-old to tell, hey, come clean this up. He's like, thanks a lot, Dad. Clean it yourself, you badass. I said, shut up, Junior. You do this, we're going to Taco Bell. Daddy's hungry.
Sick and wrong.
Kid, I am a gay.
Oh no, the escape got in.
Surprise! Oh no, he's fucking gay.
So, this is my Verizon phone. I actually recently just canceled my contract with Verizon. Anybody ever do this? I swear, they will just keep talking and talking. They want to do anything to keep you. So when I did it, I had to keep getting more and more ridiculous with my reasons for wanting to cancel. So, they said, why are you canceling your service? Well, I lost my job, unfortunately. I can't pay myself a bill. Well, we have a plan that's $20 a month. It's only 100 minutes. Actually, I'm trying to raise money to bail my father out of jail. Well, if that doesn't work, we have an even cheaper plan. I'm trying to support my meth habit, okay? Just kidding, like if I... I've been thinking of jokes for a couple weeks now, just kind of, taking notes whenever something funny would come in, and I put little, 3-word descriptions in my phone, and my mate would read it. He didn't know the jokes, but just what I wrote would make him laugh his ass off. Like, for example, the Roman Coke party. He's like, a Roman Coke party? I have one in here called Uncle Bottles. I have no clue what that is. Probably something to do with Kage. I just want to say, make sure you live life to the fullest. Live every day, because we're never guaranteed another one. And since I've made fun of Uncle Kage, no matter how I die, it was murder. Thank you.
mispronounced every time, so I'm going to try it again. Ladies and gentlemen, Rashani!
No.
Rashoni!
His name is Bill!
Rashoni!
Bill, get the fuck up here!
You don't need the mic, right?
Oh, I do.
You do? Okay.
And I need my pen. Thank you.
You're going to get the hell out of your way before you kill me. I used to know people's names.
Alright, I will say this while he's setting up. What is the next worst thing, other than being caught pleasuring yourself by your own mother? Having her whistle at you. Yes, it happened.
Wow. That explains a lot. Kid tested, mother approved. Just go ahead. You got it.
It's a little quiet.
Then that's what you got. Turn your knobs. You know what I mean?
I'll balance it out as I need to, alright?
Okay, cool.
Check. She calls me Goliath in a weary demon mask. It's all the storms are coming too fast for her now. No, I'd like to believe this nervousness will pass. All the storms that are thrown are building up a wall. I have become a compass to this world. I have become compass to my girl. You know, I'd like to believe we can reconcile the past. Resurrect those bridges with an ancient glance. But my own stone face can't seem to break her down. She remembers the bridges and burns them to the ground. I have become compass to this world. I have become a compass to my girl. Too heavy, too light, too black, or too white, too wrong, or too right, today or tonight. Compass too rich or too poor, she's wanting to be less and I wanting more. Abilities is cumbersome. No, now, no. All right, I can see you out there, but can I hear you? All right. There is balance between two worlds. One with a nail and a cross. Regardless of the balance, life has become cumbersome. Too heavy, too light, too black, or too white, too wrong, too right, today and tonight. Cumbersome. Too rich or too poor, she's wanting me less and I'm wanting more. Abilities is cumbersome. No, yeah, no.
so much.
I realized halfway through that his shirt did things, and I thought I was tripping out. What's going on? Guys, I don't know what you're doing.
Oh, I was standing behind him. I didn't even get to see that.
Party now.
I'll just...
Sweet.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce someone who is no stranger to this stage. He does open mic, he does a lot of the improv with me, and he's someone who I hope to see up here a lot more. Ladies and gentlemen, my friend, Pandaz!
All right, so quick show of hands. Anyone else here invent a sex move after watching a Disney movie? I didn't mean to do it. Friends of mine went out to go to see a movie, and we walked out going, "Oh, that was so heartwarming and charming and wonderful." And I was like, "Yeah, it was. I invented a sex move." You did what? I invented a sex move. You have to say it like that because when you invent a sex move from a Disney movie, that's a certain level of depravity that you've reached. Now I know what you're thinking. I don't normally associate cartoons and sex together. Okay, sure, we're furs. We know the deal. All you have to do is log into the main page of FA, and you can see more X-rated cartoon material than G-rated material in the Disney vaults. But still, I don't normally equate the two. It's not like my friends call me up and they're like, "Hey, Des, how was your date last night?" "Oh, well, let me tell you. After dinner, we went home to her place and started getting tangled on the couch. After a couple minutes, things were starting to look up. Next thing I know, she makes a grab for controlling interest of my Monsters Incorporated. She took off her shirt, and whoa, there were her Incredibles right there. I'm thinking to myself, oh, I'm going to train this dragon. Yeah, my Viking warrior was all set to ride her toothless, if you know what I mean. But, when I went to find her Nemo, it was a Bog's Life! So I got the hell out of there and went home to a Toy Story. No. I can see it in your eyes. You're all thinking the same thing. Pandaz, you're gonna talk to us about sex, really? Isn't that like a prostitute trying to give us a lecture on abstinence? Pandaz, you're gonna talk to us about sex? Isn't that like a convicted inside trader trying to tell us about business ethics? Pandaz, isn't you telling us about a sex move kind of like a male politician trying to pass laws on what women can and can't do with their bodies? Really, Pandaz? But I don't care. I'm gonna tell you about my move. And it's called the Wreck-It Ralph. Now I should warn you, this move is completely theoretical, like my sex life. There is no documentation that it can or should exist. This move's kind of like me losing my virginity. Might sound fun in theory. The harsh reality is someone's going to be curled up crying in the corner. Not based on real events. Anyway, here we go, the Wreck-It Ralph. It's when you're making sweet, passionate love to that person you care about most in this universe. Or that guy you met at the dance 5 minutes ago. I'm not here to judge. And just as they're about to, finish, I think I'm gonna, you ball up your fist, yell, "I'm gonna wreck it!" Boom! Punch you right in the jump. Don't do this move. Don't. Seriously, don't do this move. If you want a surefire way to never have sex with that person or anyone they know ever again, then try that move. Otherwise, don't try that move.
I don't think that's what they meant by fix-it feeling.
There might be, maybe, one time when you'd have to try this move out.
it would be justified, maybe. If you're having breakup sex with someone, and they don't know it's breakup sex. Oh, this feels great because I hate you and I'm leaving you. Oh, I care about you so much. Oh, you do? Oh, well, isn't that combo breaker? Relationship fatality. You win? Now, if you saw my act on the stand-up Friday, you know this is where the bit should end. However, something happened last night and there's now an addendum. I was partying with some friends last night, just some casual drinking, and I was walking back to my hotel room going, this con was so much fun, fursuiting, drinking, getting to do this bit at the stand-up routine. And I was walking by a hotel room and I swear to God I heard, 2 seconds later, crash! Now there's two possible scenarios. One, someone actually tried the move and the crash was the retribution. Or two, as a joke, one of them decided to fuck with the person they were fucking with and go, oh, I'm gonna wreck it. And the second person, in a fit of orgasmic horror, flailed off the bed and knocked over the Lambert TV or something. Either way, I don't care. Best ending to my Saturday night at any time ever.
I'm getting a Disney move of my own, you know. You ever heard of The Lion King?
Yeah.
That's where you finish on their body, and then when you're done, you take your finger, dip it in, and go, Simba!
I'm never having sex on a furry again.
I like these stories.
Then I'll shave.
Take the mic.
Let's get him set up. Please take the stage. We'll get the chair. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce our final act before we all do something special for you. Guys, to close us out, anyone who's been to one of our variety shows before has probably seen. This is something special, guys. Sesame!
Thank you, everybody. I've been doing this for 2 years. My first time performing would have been FCN last year, and totally blew away Alkali in more ways than I thought.
Totally blue alkali?
Let me awake once!
But yeah, I've come a long way since the first time. And,
You know what I mean?
it's been a year, so I got a new set now, and yeah, let me get to it. I hope you know that this has nothing to do with you. It's personal, myself and I. We've got some straightening out to do, but I'm gonna miss you like a child misses their blanket. I've gotta get a move on with my life. It's hard to be a big girl now, and big girls don't cry. Don't cry. You would not believe your eyes if 10 million fireflies lit up the world as I fell asleep. 'Cause they filled the open air and leave teardrops everywhere. You think me rude, but I would just stand and stare. I'd like to make myself believe that planet Earth turns slow. rather stay awake when I'm asleep, 'cause everything is never as it seems. I like to make myself believe that planet Earth turns slowly. It's hard to say that I'd rather stay awake when I'm asleep, 'cause everything is never as it seems. If I leave here tomorrow, would you still remember me? 'Cause I'm as free as a bird now, and this bird you cannot chain. Lord knows I can't change. Oh, Lord help me, I can't change. Hey, I just met you. This is crazy, but here's my number, so call me maybe. It's hard to look right at you, baby, but here's my number, so call me maybe. The star leads out to kiss you, and I lie awake and miss you. Pour me a heavy dose of atmosphere, 'cause I'll start off safe and soundly, 'cause I'll miss your arms around me. I'll send a postcard to you, dear, 'cause I wish you were here. Tell us that you're okay. And are you okay? So tell us that you're okay. There's a sign in the window that has struck you. It could should know Andy. Came into your apartment. And you. Would you tell us that you're okay? There's a sign in the window that he struck you. You could should know Andy came into your apartment. Left the blood stain on the carpet. Then he ran into the bedroom. You were struck down. It was your doom. Andy, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay, Andy? Andy, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay, Andy? Andy, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay, Andy? You've been hit by, you've been struck by a smooth criminal. I remember when I lost my mind. There was something so pleasant about that place. Even if you must, you gotta let go, and so much space. Does that make me crazy? Does that make me crazy? Does that make me crazy? Probably. This love has taken its toll on me. She said goodbye too many times before, and her heart is breaking in front of me, and I have no choice, 'cause I won't say goodbye anymore. No, whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa. It's clear that we'll soon be presented with a king who'll be all time adored. Of course, quid pro quo, you're expected to take certain duties on board. The future is littered with prizes, and though I'm the main addressee, the part point that I must emphasize is you won't get a sniff without me. So prepare for the coup of the century. Be prepared for the wonders I am. This is bearing, tenacity spending, decades of denial, and simply while I'll be king, undisputed, respected, saluted, and seen for the wonders I am. Yes, my teeth and ambitions are bare. Beside and be the best that you can be. This is for the pony. Winter wrap up, winter wrap up. Winter wrap up, winter wrap up. That's tomorrow, spring is here. Winter wrap up, winter wrap up. I'm doing it wrong. There we go. Winter wrap up, winter wrap up. Winter wrap up, winter wrap up. Tomorrow spring is here. 'Cause tomorrow spring is here. 'Cause tomorrow spring is here.
He went up on the stage and tried something brand new for the first time from a live audience. You are out of your fucking mind. Ladies and gentlemen, you have just seen everybody perform, but we want to give you a little something else, because a lot of these guys, not all of them, a lot of them were at my show last night and we asked them to come up here. And that means that they all did the improv. So how would you like to see the people up here do one more thing for you? And that is a classic game called Scenes from the Hat or We're almost set up, so if we could have a little bit of entertainment while I get the rest of it set. Maestro, if you please.
So here's the thought, and this is a little bit of a surprise for Alkali. I found out something from the past couple nights when I was playing music, that a piece of music, let's like this, if I play it, who's willing to sing along with Bohemian Rhapsody? You have to do this fast, even though, yes, I can do things slow, Alkali.
It's no real life. This is just fantasy. Caught in a landslide, no escape from reality. Open your eyes, look up to the skies and see. Because I'm easy come.
Scenes from a Hat / World's Worst, please take the stage.
Where am I taking it?
They'll leave where
Where do you want me to take it?
Testes. 1, 2, 3.
Alright, for those of you who don't know what this is, Scenes from a Hat / World's Worst is an improv game. They have no idea what's written on these cards, and I just learned it because we had a few members from the audience coming up with terrible fucking ideas.
You're welcome.
I figured that since I don't care, I chose some of the worst ones to put them in here. So, you guys creative? Would you please pick the first? There is World's Worst and Scenes from the Hat in here. I'll go to read my handwriting. Scenes from a Hat on a drunken British fox hunt.
Oh, God, water.
I say, there he goes.
The hounds go after my tooth drop.
But I got some bourbon.
I brought the lube.
What are we to do with the fox when we fox him at that convention?
Alcohol, that's what we're doing.
World's Worst Vacation Spots.
Well, here we are.
That's no swimming in the carpet.
All right, so my GPS says take the next left to Alkali's sex dungeon.
Welcome to DMV.
Welcome to beautiful North Korea. You all have to enjoy your stay.
Visit scenic Uncle Kage's liver.
Oh, look, Carnival Cruise Line.
World's Worst Test Questions.
Oh.
HIV.
Fuck, what's my name again?
If an eastbound train is moving at 25 miles an hour and a westbound train is moving at 35 miles an hour, which train will collide with the other train first?
If a tree falls in a forest and nobody's around, does it make a sound?
What time is it?
Do you think I'm sexy?
AIDS stands for. What does it stand for again?
What is the terminal velocity of a fully laden swallow?
Scenes from a Hat. Last moments on the Titanic.
Damn, I should have paid that bill.
Does this life preserver make my ass look fat?
I'm just so goddamn thirsty right now.
This party was so awesome.
Hey, baby, since we're going down, why don't you?
Oh, fuck. The maid after an orgy.
It is the one.
Is this shit glowing?
Xander. Hernandez.
I need more lemon flavor.
Sir, where does this go?
I'm sorry, you manager, sir. I don't cover the ceiling.
My nightmares have come true.
I'm impotent.
Hey, look, free wine.
Oh my God.
him to invite me.
Last one in the hat. Oh, best of luck. If the chicken dance and the Macarena had a baby. Because they wrote them down, we'll just throw some very quick ones. We're going to go through these very After a massacre.
That's what this thing ever had.
We need more lemon plates.
A day in the dildo factory.
Right, I guess pink ones.
Time to make the dildos.
You want to put me in the beta testing room?
The manager said no sword fighting.
No! No dragon! Bad dragon!
Is this really for Uncle Kage?
Hot dogs for lunch again.
I would like you to meet our new and improved Thor.
We used to call it Henry. There you go.
The new and improved wiener.
Oh, God.
He's new.
Initiation.
All right. Oh, dear God. Family dinner at KFC.
Your fryer's on fire.
Dad, get that piece of cock out of your mouth.
This time we didn't forget the gravy. World's worst ice cream flavors.
Orca on a stick.
The five.
Miko Melon.
Kage's liver. Alkali bismuth.
Ben and Jerry presents Glenn Beck's Fucking Nuts.
I can't believe it's not vanilla.
Finish off that nuts.
Lemon pledge.
Fuck you.
See you later.
A day and a night with alkali.
Okay, we're gonna do this here, that, there, that. Wait, we already did that. Wait, I'm fucking drunk.
Oh,
You're going to sit through every bad pun I have ever heard in my entire life. That's not punnies.
And I'll play the role of Alkali.
Oh my God!
I'm getting off of this one now.
That's what he said.
All right, the last two. No. The last one.
Do it!
Worst ending to a new sexual position.
I'm gonna wreck it!
It really is glowing.
Oh, not a virgin? I'm gonna fix it.
Shit, we're gonna have to pay for that TV.
If I would have known you could have gotten it up, I would have taken off my panties.
How'd I get my hands stuck in my own folds?
I got a positive grade on my last test.
Medic?
before.
It's freezing out here.
So, see the game last night?
I've been really thinking about investing in real estate here. It's really nice.
What's Pompeii?
Now, Timmy, if you keep making that face, it's gonna stick like that.
Junior, pull my finger.
One more for you, just because I've always liked this one and it comes up a lot. Since today is the Sunday of the con, scenes from a hat. What happened last night?
You really mustn't ask me that question.
Yes?
Lab coat on or off?
Have you ever tried making a PK meter out of a shoebox?
Note to self, kill alkali.
Shit.
So if I do this, Alkali, I'll actually get to host a panel at your con?
He's got one. He's like spazzing.
Bah.
We're gonna need more lemon pledge.
One more. Guys, give me a huge round of applause. Furry variety show. I'm going to tell you something that you just saw today that you will not see very often. Yes, we had some soundtracks playing when they played their own music, when they did their own individual. They did their own thing.
You're drunk.
I know.
That's not new.
Not a single person here did a lip sync act or a pre-recorded thing or just stole it from somebody else. These guys all came up with their own material, and you cannot believe how much I respect that. These guys are amazing. They got up on stage, they went for it, and I think each and every one of them nailed it in their own way. Guys, every one of them helped me. This was kind of a clusterfuck and wouldn't have happened without every single one of their support. So once again, guys, from the bottom of my heart, you guys made this one possible, and I was just here and drunk.